Okay, so chapter 1 and chapter 23 talks about the cumulative advantage or disadvantage theory. And one limitation mentioned by chapter 1 is that we may not always see this funnel shape where the gaps in health widens over time for the two groups. People's condition may change over time. People's financial well-being may change over time. And because of that, they may lose their job. And they may fall sick. And they may need to take a different job with a pay cut, among other things. They may move to a different neighborhood. Because of all these reasons mentioned by chapter 1, we may not see this funnel shape for the two groups. And chapter 23 also mentioned that oftentimes studies that test the cumulative advantage or disadvantage theory, they don't include institutionalized individuals. They do not include people living in long-term care facilities and nursing homes. These are usually the sickest individuals. We all know that. And because of that, we are not sure whether the differences in health measured by all these possible measures, we mentioned that in class, may or may not look like a funnel. We may never know for sure. And chapter 23 also mentioned that the predictive power of a person's social class, income, education, occupation, wealth, and other social economic characteristics may change over the life course. Social class, occupation, education, income, and wealth may have predictive power when the person was in his or her late teens until middle age. But all these measures may lose their predictive powers when the person enters old age. And because of this, we don't know if the difference between the two groups is going to look like a funnel. And another reason is because individuals living in poor neighborhoods, if they happen to be low educated, they have no opportunity to attain high education, sometimes due to factors beyond their control. And because of that, they may die before they reach old age. Because of that, they may not be part of the statistics. And because of this phenomenon, we call selective mortality, where individuals living in certain neighborhoods with high pollution, poor water quality, high crime, high unemployment, poor school system, the person, if he or she live in that neighborhood from childhood to teenagers to adulthood, the person may develop all kinds of health conditions over the life course. And the person may not make it to old age. And because of that, the funnel may look more flattened, like the one on your left. It may not look like this funnel, where it's wider, due to selective mortality, or we call that the age as leveler hypothesis. And selective mortality can also work in a different manner. Maybe because of selective mortality, the two lines may look more parallel. So it may not be a funnel like this. These are the different criticism of the cumulative advantage or cumulative disadvantage theory. And it is also possible that rich people, educated people, high income people can better afford the latest drugs, latest medical procedures and treatments. But when these procedures, treatments, drugs are still in the latest testing phase, it may not be as effective as people want it to be. And because of that, maybe all these people, they had health insurance through their jobs. They had wealth, they had high incomes. They could afford all these latest drugs, treatments, and so on. And these drugs were not effective. So their health may deteriorate over time. And because of that, we can also see a different funnel in a different direction. And it seems that people who could not afford the latest drugs, latest medical procedures, they seem to be quote unquote safer. And this is why we see a different funnel shape. This is a different manifestation of the HS leveler hypothesis.